Hey y'all, my name is Gabby, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed at the age of 32 when my son was only 2 months old, so I was going through breast cancer treatment while my son was a baby. But I thank Jesus because now I'm healed, and the Lord wanted me to share my story with you guys. So I wrote an ebook. It's called Breaking Barriers, God's Goodness Towards Me, and in this ebook, it talks about my journey from a childhood all the way up until now. So in the book, it would talk about the breast cancer diagnosis, how I found out about the breast cancer. It talks about symptoms and some things that I went through experiencing breast cancer treatment. It even reveals like the prior symptoms before I was diagnosed. Like for me, I felt the lump. I felt the lump. And every time I was about to mention it to my doctor, the lump would go away. And I was pregnant at the time. So, ladies, if you feel anything in your body, don't ignore it. If you feel it and it goes away, still talk to your doctor and tell your doctor what you felt. It's so important. So it talks about like when I was a little girl, like especially for all you cousins that asked me, Gabby, why are you so quiet? Well, the truth is I was carrying a secret and the Lord has healed me, and now I'm able to actually talk about why I'm quiet and what happened to me as a little girl. I'm sharing this part of my journey with you guys because I realize I'm not the only one that has gone through what I went through. There's other people out there, and I want to encourage those who may have gone through it or is going through it, that my healing started taking place once I started talking about it and not hiding it. Like there's a reason why the enemy tried to keep my mouth shut, and I refuse to keep my mouth shut anymore. So now I'm going to speak up. I'm going to speak up. The book, it also talks about divorce. Like I had my life all set out. By 26, I was going to be married. I was going to have my kids. I was going to have my career, everything, right? But I ended up, that 26 years came, gone, wasn't married, didn't have no career, didn't have a career, nothing. So I'm like, now I considered myself old, and I ended up getting married, and I learned the hard way how important it is not to be unequally yoked. So if you're in a season of where you're about to rush into marriage, don't do it. Let God work on you and get you prepared for your kingdom spouse, because God's timing is perfect. The book, it reveals like some things that I learned about myself. It reveals mistakes that I made. I hope that you don't make those same mistakes. I'm like, I don't want to say too much, but yes, it talks about being unequally yoked. So before I got divorced, the Lord was placing it in my spirit that I would be moving. So I was like, okay, cool. I have a job, car, all that stuff set up, right? But after the divorce, that's when the Lord started like nudging me, like it's time for you to go. It's time for you to move. And it didn't make sense to me at the time because it was like, I don't have a car, I don't have a job, I don't have nothing set up. But I had faith and I had God's word, but I kept procrastinating, and the way I ended up getting out here was I ended up getting rear-ended by an 18-wheeler. So that was like my push to get to go to the city where the Lord was telling me to go. In the book, it'll talk about more about that. And I haven't worked since 2020, so it didn't make any sense to me. Like, how am I going to get a place and I don't have a check stub. I don't have nothing like that, right? But I learned Jehovah Jireh for myself, and God was just providing. Every time I'll take this step of faith, God would just provide. Even though it didn't make sense, God would just provide. God just always showed up for me. And if you're in a season of transition and God is telling you to do something that doesn't make sense, just obey and take that step of faith. It's the reason why God is telling you to do whatever he's telling you to do. Just do it and watch God move. Watch God do whatever God's going to do for you. So the book, it talks about a lot of stuff, even moving with a toddler. That was hard. I don't know what was harder, the cancer treatment or moving with a toddler, but I thank God. Yes, you can find my book at GabrielleBell.org. Again, it's called Breaking Barriers, God's Goodness Towards Me. Thank you guys for the support. Leave comments, reviews. Love y'all.